How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Finding the Middle. I am your host, Kevin Cancela, and today we have a few things to talk about. And we're going to start off with the comics. I was not able to post the video yesterday. I'm recording actually this on Thursday. So I just wanted to bring my top three standouts of Comic Book Wednesday for yesterday. And I have them right here in my hand, and I'm going to give it to you one by one. These are basically my standouts are basically the comics book that I was really looking forward to during the week and that I am most excited to read out of the whole bunch that I got. So I'm going to start off with DCKO number 5. This one in particular, I was really interested and intrigued because it was meant to be a tie in between the Absolute Universe and the all in DC universe that they have right now. But basically, at the end, I took a glimpse at the back. So as soon as I got it. And essentially, they are kind of teasing a Absolute Universe crisis, kind of like the same thing where they did the Crisis on Infinite Earths. They're kind of teasing an absolute crisis, and I'm I'm skeptical, but I'm intrigued also because it could go really really well, and it could be a good thing for the absolute universe, or it can also be like one of these things that they try to like redo with new properties and stuff, and it doesn't really work as well as the original. But anyways, that's definitely number 3 on my list. Second one is Star Wars Shadow of Maul. I don't generally read Star Wars, guys. I'm going to be completely honest, and it's because the reason why I don't read Star Wars is mainly the same reason why I have issues with Terminator. Is that I don't know how things are working over at Disney, but I don't feel like the comic books are adding new lore to what it's already existing in there. They're kind of just taking stories, little stories here and there of other characters or maybe existing characters in times where we haven't seen, like the Star Wars Jedi Knights, which was kind of where Qui-Gon was still alive and all that stuff, and we saw a glimpse at that episode 1 era. And then there's others like the Luke Skywalker ones where like it's just kind of like missing stories that were never told, or they're trying to retell a story, or they're trying to make a new story that doesn't really affect anything on the movies. And that is one of the main things that I have the issues with Star Wars, specifically in Terminator. Is like they're really afraid of doing something here that will have effects on the big screen, on the Star Wars brand as a whole. Another reason why I'm a little bit nervous about reading this, to be honest, is because of synergy. And Marvel has been doing this lately, and we're going to talk about this later. But this only came out, honestly, because the show of Darth Maul is coming out pretty soon. So I can see Marvel taking advantage of that hype and put out an issue. But this is basically the issue. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to read it anyways and see if it's good or not. I'll be the judge of that. And then last but not least, guys, this is a comic book that I've been waiting for weeks. It was the impatience in me was so bad that I almost bought it on Kindle to read it in my iPad before I got the issue because I could not really wait. I was really excited. And the and the impulse was so bad that as soon as I got my stack, when the first thing that I did once I was in my bed, ready and settled to read, was read that issue that I was waiting for during weeks. And it is none other than Dork number 1. This is the second printing. Unfortunately, there was a first print and I didn't grab it. And honestly, I could say that I didn't expect the comic to blow up the way it did. I had seen a Brett Bean interview in the Nerdy Musing podcast, but I saw him. I really liked what he was working on, but I didn't really thought that it was going to blow up. So I was willing to wait a few weeks, grab 2 or 3 issues back to back, so I can just like binge it and read it. And that was not the case. That was not the case. It blew up. Now, if you go look it for a first print, it's $100 on eBay. That's about the average, and it's crazy, guys. It's crazy. But I can see why it sold out. It's a really good story. First of all, this is an Image, which is an indie. It's also Brett Bean's first book, and he did not strike out, dude. He hit it out of the park with this one. He really did hit it out of the park. The story basically, half orc, half dwarf, uh, basically means the end of the world for the people living in there. There's like the light side, the dark side. They're in eternal conflict right in the middle, where it's called the scar, the middle, the one that is literally a line that divides both worlds. And let me tell you something, it is freaking amazing the way he wrote it down, the way he nailed the look of the character is really nice because he looks small. So I like the way he drew the character because orcs normally are ugly as shit and dwarves are ugly as shit. And the way he did his own thing and created dork, he really looks nice. He looks like a character that you can sympathize with. He looks kind of like cute, but at the same time, like, don't mess with me. Like he's little, but he's not. It's really nice seeing a character like this. To be honest, where he you can see, look at his eyes, look at his, like, the smile. Like if you see this side of the cover, it looks he looks awesome, man. He really looks awesome. And even when he looks badass like this, which he does have a scene in the issue where he kind of goes like this, all like crazy. Even then he still looks like amazing. Like both sides are cool. There's a cute little thing right there that he's funny as hell sometimes, and then you get the crazier version of him, which is also looking amazing. But basically, that was also my favorite scene, was when he's in the tavern and a fight breaks loose and whatever, and he kind of loses control as he's saying, like, I am sick and tired of people trying to kill me for me being me, for trying to be me. And he realizes that he killed everybody in the freaking tavern, and he looks at his hand and he's like, I didn't mean it, I didn't mean it. So he legit lost control. And that scene in particular was so, like, I was like, oh my god, he killed everybody. Like I literally had that reaction of, wow, like what just happened. So I was super happy. At the end you see both the light side and the dark side basically finding out that he's out there, that he's alive, and both of them assembling their crew to go hunt down Dork. So I'm curious to see where it's gonna go. As of right now, first issue, 10 out of 10. He knocked it out of the park. I really like the way he introduced him. I really like the Shield talking to him, the whole dynamic between Dork and the Shield. I like the prophecy aspect. I like how people know who he is, so he's well known. Like the prophecy is really well known. I like the whole concept of the scar and how there's this eternal conflict between both sides. It's just, it's something that really screams like imagination. It really screams like, hey, this is something new, fresh, really cool, really nice. I like the fact that it's kind of this medieval time. So everything about this comic book, honestly, Brett Bean, you did an amazing job. I am extremely happy that I actually waited for this and that I actually, sat down and read it on the same day that I got it. It was worth the wait, honestly. And I hope that I can get every single first print from now on. I'm probably going to put this on recurrent order so I can just get them without even having to ordering. It's just, it's an amazing experience, guys. If you guys have not read this, there's this third print coming out. I definitely recommend for you to order it. Don't. It's like he says, you don't. If you just want to read it and be a part of this, just order. It's only going to be like $3. Don't go and spend $50, $40, because even this, they're trying to sell it for like $40. It's second print, and like first print is like $100. So like, don't go crazy trying to get this. Right now you can get it on Kindle too for 4.99. I think it's 4.99 or like 3.99 anyways. But like, you can get it on Kindle. read it on your phone, on your iPad. Again, there's a third print that you can order. Uh, get your hands on this, read it. You are really going to enjoy it. And I am not kidding. This is a really good book. Anyways, guys, with that down, I want to talk about this. And it's the fact that the other day I did a Resident Evil content, and randomly today I was scrolling through my phone, and guess what? Resident Evil 5 turns 17 years old today. And it's crazy. It's crazy to think about it because it doesn't feel like it's been 17 years, you know? I remember buying that game and playing it with my cousin and being the doing the whole co-op stuff and who was going to be Chris, who was going to be Shiva, and it was a really good experience. I know that some people don't really like Resident Evil 5 because they see it as that point in time where Resident Evil just went downhill. But I generally like Resident Evil 5. I don't have anything bad to say about it. I will say that it got really crazy after. I think that after 4, it really got crazy because at that point you had zombies shooting at you, you know? So so there's definitely a lot of things that kind of went downhill for Resident Evil even at 4 and 5, you know, there were still problems there. But if you're going to talk about the downhill of Resident Evil, I think the upgrade in zombies and what they could do on Resident Evil 4 led to them making the mistakes that they did in 5 and 6. So I'm not saying that Resident Evil 4 is the reason. I think that Resident Evil 4 is the gateway to everything that happened later. Because Resident Evil 4, regardless, was well received and has been well received. And even the remake was well received. So I don't know. We'll see. But Resident Evil 5 is actually 17 years old. Again, I really do hold it close to my heart. I don't want to say really bad things about the game because it's really nostalgic to me. And maybe I'm blinded by nostalgia. Maybe the game was actually absolutely trash. But Resident Evil 5 was actually the first zombie game that I played when I was a kid. So that was, I knew about the movies. I had seen the movies. I really liked the movies. But Resident Evil 5, the video game, was the first Resident Evil game that I actually purchased and got to play with my cousin. It was my first experience and intro to Resident Evil franchise. So I am biased towards it. That means that I don't see it as a bad entry. I see it as the entry that got me into Resident Evil. So, yeah. So, yeah, guys, basically, it's 17 years old. Happy birthday to Resident Evil 5. And let's continue on with this because we are in March. This is actually the first video that I'm putting in March. And there's two shows that are going to hit the streaming services, which is Invincible and Daredevil. And let me tell you that I am excited for both. First of all, Invincible, always been a fan. Um, I'm really excited to see where this season is going to go. And in order for us to do that, you know, I want to take a moment to watch the trailer with you guys. I haven't seen the trailer yet. I've seen glimpses of it. I saw Oliver with his long hair and like doing the whole thing like this. But let's see the trailer together.
Leave no one alive.
However strong you think you are, Thrag is stronger.
Thrag's death is the only thing that matters.
They will shudder before our strength, our devotion, our vengeance.
Well, yeah, guys, that was the official teaser for Thrag. And the thing about Thrag also is that since I follow a lot of Invincible media, he's being mentioned before how he's like the strongest Viltrumite or something like that. So I'm super excited to see how that is going to turn out and go. Same thing for Daredevil. Daredevil, the new season, Born Again season 2, it's gonna come out also with Jessica Jones in there. Matt, I don't. I wonder if the Punisher is still gonna be there or not. But that one's coming out. So we have a pack month for March, which means that we're basically getting 2 episodes. At some point, we're going to get 2 episodes at the same time running. And I'm really excited to see both of them and see where each of them are going to go. Tell me which is the one that you're the most excited to. I am super excited for Invincible more than Daredevil, but let me know what you think in the comments below. But, anyways, okay, so I want to talk about something that I mentioned earlier, and it's synergy. So, honestly, I don't think, now that I look back, I actually started collecting comic books in 2024. I had comic books before then, but I was not actively collecting. So I don't know exactly how things work, but ever since I started collecting comics in 2024, in summer of 2024, I noticed that there's this synergy that tries to happen between the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the Marvel Comics. Let me tell you this: the most garbage comics that Marvel put out in 2025 were the ones that try to do synergy with the MCU movies. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. You know what works? Trying to do your own original content without having to try to do synergy and try to freaking bandwagon a movie and trying to take the hype of the movie and get it into a comic book and I don't know, like playing with characters that are like irrelevant and then the story doesn't even matter. That's the thing that I have the most troubles with Marvel right now. And it happened with One World Under Doom. As soon as Robert Downey Jr. gets announced as Doctor Doom, we get a whole freaking series, a whole event of One World Under Doom, which was okay for the most part, but it was not the best usage of the character. We also got the Thunderbolts shit that it was like, oh, the Thunderbolts. We got a comic book that's called the Thunderbolts, and then the freaking movie went out and they changed the title to New Avengers, and now the new title of the comic is the New Avengers. We have had so many TVA, uh, like I made a little list of comics that like literally, like recently Spider-Man Noir, Battle World, the Jeff out of nowhere getting comics. Nobody cared about Jeff until he was in Marvel Rivals. Malice, same thing. Appeared. She had been absent for so long. She gets popular now. She gets like a whole appearance right there. There's a new one now of Spider-Man, brand new something, and it's with Punisher, Hulk, and Spider-Man. Like, why do you guys? Why does Marvel feel the necessity of taking the hype of a movie and try to put it into a comic book? I understand that you guys want to have new readers and that is a marketing strategy to get new readers into comic books. I can get that. But this is a slap in the face to every single collector who actually cares about the stories that have substance. Because none of this synergy shit has substance. And it's pissing me off that I get comics that are just garbage. The new Avengers, garbage. Garbage. And I talked about this last video. I hate the new Avengers comic part now. I just hate it. They had Hulk having Captain America Sam Wilson, another one that was garbage, all because they wanted to promote the freaking movie and the Red Hulk. Garbage. And then this freaking thing that you guys do, all this freaking thing that Marvel does all the time, is a new movie comes out, like the Fantastic Four movie came out, and instead of just continuing on what you had with the freaking issues, you were like at issue number 30 almost, something like that. You go and you restart the thing. Oh, I hate it. I just hate it. You guys are using good characters and putting them in shitty ass comics with no substance whatsoever, and it messes with the reader. It messes with the people that actually do collect, because most of the people that start collecting comics, they'll just collect a few and then they'll go back to not reading them. This is just something that I don't like. There's no the movies. The movies are supposed to be based on the comic, not not the other way around. No, it doesn't work the other way around, and it's very frustrating. It's it's pissing me off, as you guys can see. But I hate this right now. In 2025, the best thing that Marvel put out wasn't even a comic or a movie. It was Marvel Rivals. And that is a fact. That's not me saying it. That's a fact. The best thing that Marvel put out in 2025 was Marvel Rivals. That was the thing that got the most attention for a long period of time, and it still gets attention right now. You still get it, even though it's slowly going back to like what a normal game is, it's definitely still getting attention. It still has its popularity. Every like the freaking Gooner skins and stuff, it still has popularity. Guess what? Marvel, that's the best thing you did in 2025. A game. Because all this synergy shit does not work. It does not work. More often than not, there's no substance, there's nothing in that comic that happens that even matters or that they even reference in the future again. So it's crazy. It's crazy. You know what's insane? Image like I think that honestly, the thing about this whole situation, oh, and then the second best thing that they put out was the Ultimate Spider-Man. And even then, the rest of the stuff was not great. The rest of the stuff was not great. I liked Ultimate Wolverine. I really enjoyed it. It's not on par with what DC was putting out. DC put out the Absolute Universe. Banger after banger after banger. The top 2025 comics that got sold, that if you look at the freaking list, the top 25 list, more than half of those comics were Absolute Universe comics. More than half of them. That is how crazy this thing like got, Image has done a great job at producing quality comics. And you can look at the Energon universe for an example. All three of them, Transformers, G.I. Joe, and Void Rivals. All three of them got good synergy. All three of them got a good review. They've been getting good feedback. Everybody likes the Energon universe to the point that they're trying to make a show. There's Exquisite Corpses also. That started in 2025 and is still going into 2026, and it's supposedly going to end in 13. But they're also talking about, hey, let's do a show for this. And like I see this trend going into 2026, and apparently still going on because this Spider-Man garbage is coming out. Spider-Man brand new, whatever the hell it is that nobody cares about. Meanwhile, Image is over here putting the org. Selling out. It's already in the top 2026 Image comics, and I know it's only been 2 months, but it's sold out. It's sold out. It's one of the best selling comics for Image right now. Where is Marvel learning? My stack, it's more today. Half of my stack was, you know what's crazy about my stack was only a quarter of my stack that I got on Wednesday was Marvel stuff. Only a quarter. And I am a Marvel person. I love Marvel, but I am not going to purchase. I'm done falling for that stuff. I fell for it in the first few years, but now, nah. I'm so sorry. No. Marvel needs to figure out something for 2026, or it's just going to be miserable for us readers, But anyways, guys, the last thing that I wanted to talk about is kind of like a news thing. I'm just going to brag a little bit. So, guys, I ended up buying the Ultimate X-Men 2000, the full run, issue 1 through 100, two annuals and issue half from Wizard. I ended up buying it, and it's just amazing. I got to show it to you guys real quick. So, guys, this is the box right here. As you guys can see, those inside are the comics. There's 103 comics in here that I put together, and I just wanted to show it to you guys. Here are the two annuals. Issue 100 right here. The one from Wizard right here, the half issue, and issue number 1 right here, man. I have, dude, this was on my bucket list when I started collecting. The two things that I wanted, I mean, there's a few things that I really want, like in my bucket list. The one that, just to mention a few, I wanted first appearance of Gwen Stacy, first appearance of Ghost Spider, Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate X-Men. I'm currently trying to put together the full Wolverine Legacy numbers. So there's quite a few of those, but I have already quite a few of those too. So this was on my bucket list, and is, as a collector, this is something that I definitely wanted to have. And in 2000, I was shitting my Pampers. I was a baby back then. But the reason why I really wanted to get like the Ultimate X-Men was because even though I was not able to read or collect comics back then and all that stuff, this really just reminds me of a time where I used to play X-Men Legends, X-Men Legends 2, Ultimate Alliance, a lot of Ultimate Spider-Man. And a moment, it just reminds me of a moment in time where it was just cool to wear a black suit with no mask or anything, like Wolverine did for the longest time. It even reminds me of X-Men Evolution, how they wore all that black suit and all that stuff. It was really cool in the 2000s to be a superhero and wear a black suit. So it doesn't matter what you like. It doesn't matter. I mean, Wolverine is all like yellow and orange, or the whole brown and yellow suit. And literally, even in X-Men Evolution, it was like an orange and black or something like that. And then the on this one in the Ultimate Universe, he wears a black with yellow stripes. So look at this. This is his suit. It just reminds me of a different time, man, and it makes me so happy that I'm able to collect the things that I love, and I'm just super happy that I was able to get this from my local comic book shop. And then the crazy thing about it, the owner knew that I wanted, so he came up to me and he's like, "Hey, look what I have," and he showed me, and I was like, "Dude, I'm buying this. I'm buying this." It's honestly it's a check in the bucket list, and it's been amazing. I cannot say it enough. I'm super excited. I'm super happy. Yeah, I got the full run, and it's just pure nostalgia to me, and also another thing that I want to say is that comic books, I I, I like the art, that it's a modern artist. I like modern artists and the way they do their comics, but there's something about the art style of the early 2000s and late 90s, basically 90s, 2000s, early 2000s. There's something about that art style that just really gets me engaged, really drives me in, and I'm like, yeah, I'm really reading a comic book. It like the art style, when I think about a comic book, the one thing that I think about is like 90s art style and early 2000s. Basically the same art style that are on these comics. And I'm just super glad that I got him. I'm super grateful that I was able to get them. And yeah, guys, I got the X-Men, the X-Men, the Ultimate X-Men 2000. Next is gonna be Spider-Man, and that one is 160 issues. Hopefully, I'll be able to get them. Who knows? Maybe pretty soon. But anyways, guys, that's basically it. What I have for you guys today. Definitely a lot to talk about. We're definitely going to have a lot to talk about on Sunday. I already have a template set out. I was thinking and just brainstorming. It's definitely going to be a good episode, especially if you really like the old 2D animations and what happened with Pixar and all this stuff in '95. So stick around for that one. Definitely check that video out. And then, as always, guys, I want you to thank you all for watching. If you stuck to the end, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. What I want you guys to do is follow, check the notification bell, check it twice. Just click it once for the subscribe or whatever, and then click it twice so like you can get all the notifications and all that stuff. I am also on Spotify, so that will be Spotify and YouTube. And then if you would like to follow me on my socials, that will be Finding the Middle SFB on both Instagram and TikTok, and you will see all my videos right there, guys. But anyways, it's getting late. I gotta edit all this stuff and put it together. So thank you very much, and see you guys on the next one.